Hi, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 4 of Breaking the Fourth Wall. I'm Nathan Goff. I am here today with my colleague, co-host, the bad boy of British wrestling, Matthew Burns. So I just need to throw the usual disclaimers out there. I'm quite swear happy if you haven't gathered. My colleague's quite PG. He fits well with the WWE lifestyle and promotions. Brodus Clay loves him as a neighbour. Well, he used to until he turned into the serious man.
Oh, I know. The what did he call himself? The main event player.
Yeah, it sounds a bit like the real deal, Titus O'Neil, but
And unfortunately, he ain't getting much of a break, is he?
no. So we're doing this a day earlier due to some commitments. Hopefully we can do this in one take because I've got to shoot off to the other side of staff. It's just straight after for competition, and my colleague's got a weekend full of shows. So if any of you are around the Midlands area, if you fancy popping in to see him, be my guest. He'll love feedback, and he might even give you a set of glasses if you're lucky.
Oh, of course. It's a given. It's a given. You know, anybody turns up to match, I always have to give one pair of me disco shades away for free. Always.
Okay, Ernest the Cat Miller. Right,
I'm
so
not Ernest the Cat Miller.
Right, so we're straight in here. We're going to do a Raw recap, and then after we've got a bit of a tribute as it's a sad time in the United Kingdom. We just lost one of the greatest young charity raisers of probably this year, probably even like this century. And then after we've been asked a brilliant question, I took 2 attempts at answering it and I fucked it up earlier on. So I'm going to try verbally answer it.
Well,
so I could probably do it a bit better.
To be honest with you, I saw the question myself earlier, and I thought, and even I'm finding it hard to answer. And I could be one of the people under this topic.
Yeah, so I had 2 attempts at answering the question earlier.
Not easy.
And I probably made a pig's ear of both attempts. So I knew what I wanted to say, so I'm going to try to say it here, and then our British wrestling expert will actually chip in on what he thinks of the idea that I had to combat this, but also actually the situation itself. So without any greater ado, we're going to jump straight in at this, which is Monday Night Raw.
Oh, of course. It's got to be done. We've always covered it.
Yeah, so what's your views on Raw?
Mixed. Very, very mixed.
It was very, very, very meh.
Yeah. It wasn't anything special.
I want Daniel. I want my Daniel Bryan back. If we can't have Daniel Bryan, give me Shawn Michaels as champion.
Well, I guarantee you that with the unfortunate news that's actually been dropped on Raw, you know this is going to bring a lot of people up asking that one question: is he coming back? The one who I daren't say because I know Mr. Nathan Goff here will go on to our rant, which we can't have that.
Are we on about the one that took his ball home?
Yes, he's one of them. Yes, he is.
If he comes back, I riot.
You really don't like him, do you?
He lost all respect when he took his ball and went.
I can't disagree with you.
Greatest in-ring performer of this
definitely.
decade. Took his ball 6 months before his contract was due to end because he couldn't be arsed anymore.
Well, I actually can't.
Wrestling ability aside, I
Yeah.
can't
You
knock
can't.
CM Punk. He's a
It's
brilliant wrestler, brilliant talker. It's his attitude that sucks. He thinks that he's God's gift to wrestling. No, you're not. There's a million other wrestlers out there that can do the same job as you. They just aren't advertised.
I can combat this myself. It depends on how if he's actually been treated badly by his. But the problem is he's got high standards.
Give me a multi-million-dollar contract and treat me badly. I'll
No.
take it.
No. That's not the point. That's not the point I'm trying to raise. That's how I would combat it. But the fan in me, absolutely. Correction. The wrestler in me hates the fact that he took his ball and walked home. I'm sorry, but if I turn up to a show, and even if I'm in the worst mood, am I going to go out there, literally 10 minutes before a show and just go, I'm off? No, I'm sorry. The show goes on. You do the show. You get on with it, and then you could have at least talked about it after the show.
He could have at least done WrestleMania and then gone 3 months early. But no, he's robbed us of the match that we wanted to see, the proper match. Give us a half an hour CM Punk Triple H at WrestleMania. But I won't talk about it anymore. That's a completely different subject for a different day.
But that aside, we still got a great match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan.
And the rightful champion. He got the rightful bill for his programme.
Yeah.
So we'll crack on with Raw because if I have to mention CM Punk, I might blow a gasket.
I knew straight away if I actually mentioned this, he'd gone into a rant. But luckily enough, we haven't had the hour one. So, I'll probably get that one after this recording.
So the show opened up with the Shield cutting a nice little promo live in the ring.
Yeah.
Talking about how they wanted Evolution.
Yeah. It's, you can sort of say why they're still after him, blah blah blah. Well, the biggest reason why the Shield can go after him is Triple H is in power.
Yeah, but also it is on about how they've all passed their prime. Now, Batista, yes.
Oh, good God.
Did Batista ever have a prime? He just had 5 moves to do.
Well, bear this in mind, his prime probably was gone before he even entered the WWE.
Yeah.
He was knocking on them.
He didn't really have a fantastic moveset. People take the mick out of Cena's moveset, but Batista's moveset's a lot more limited.
Now, at times, I have in the past not been the biggest fan, but Cena can wrestle.
Yeah.
He just doesn't.
Triple H.
But as a wrestler, he's a smart man by doing that.
If Triple H has passed his prime, then 90% of that roster aren't going to have a prime. Because Triple H past his prime is still better than 90% of that roster.
Oh, he's still got the character down to it. He knows how to work.
And Randy Orton, probably the best third generation superstar to ever enter a ring.
Oh, he's great.
So maybe yes, they are past the primes, but people need to remember that their primes are better than 80%, 90% of the people that you'll actually see wrestle ever, apart from Batista. But so that's fine. And
not even gonna get on to that with Batista because I'm not the biggest fan of him. Mr. I quit. I'm quitting. Goes. I'm gonna be a big prime
MMA fighter.
MMA fighter
Loses.
Oh, he didn't lose his first match.
Oh no, he didn't lose, but he lost his career.
Oh, definitely.
He's old.
Did you actually see the fight? He did.
No.
Don't. I guarantee. You think Batista's bad now? If you saw him in that MMA fight, the standards. You actually no. Go watch him because you'd actually think the stuff he's doing now is quite high. It's quite decent.
Well, it's fair enough.
It was appalling.
But Orton's had some quality matches in the last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, definitely.
He had some good matches with Christian a couple of years ago over the world title.
Yeah.
He's put stars over. He is the first person that actually put Mark Henry over.
Oh, definitely, and made him look strong.
Yeah. Orton made the Hall of Pain legitimate.
Oh, definitely. And not only did he do it legitimately, it was quite surprising on how he did it. Sort of everyone's thinking, oh, Orton's just going to drop him with an RKO. He didn't.
No.
He did what is right for business.
And
Sorry, Triple H, nicking your line.
But Orton's actually done some good things. But if they are past the prime, it may be a valid point. But I think it's a point of looking like this feud as the future versus the present and past.
Yeah.
If you can put it in that context.
The only big fault I have with Evolution being around is they need the fourth man.
I don't know. The fourth man's hardly ever sober anymore.
I'm not saying he needs to wrestle.
The fourth man's hardly ever sober anymore. The fourth man could be a liability.
He's still entertaining though.
So that happens, and then Evolution pull up in the limo. Comes out of limo, Triple H signs for something. I don't know if it's a limo requisition form saying, "Wait, I need to go here. I aren't being paid by the hour."
Wicked.
But so God knows what that form was.
Yeah.
You know.
But in a bit, I'll mention something about a rumor that if my colleague has done some of his research, he may find interesting if he hasn't heard it already.
So we'll move on to the next match, which was Rob Van Dam versus Jack Swagger in a match that lasted the whole of 2 moves and 6 minutes on introductions and entrances.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I know you love Adam Rose.
What? I'm not. I like the idea of it.
I don't even like the idea of it.
No. I like the idea of it. It's the song. Yeah.
The song is brilliant.
Yes.
The entrance, the character, are like so 90s attitude. Ladies and gentlemen, if you need the toilet, go now.
It looks more like, it reminds me of Russell Brand.
But they came out and they did have one good spot, and it's probably the only spot that actually made me laugh in the last 2 weeks of this.
Go on.
So he came out, he stood up on the entrance, like on the ropes, and then Swagger took a swing at him, and he just falls back onto his entourage of people.
Yeah.
And did you notice who was in the Exotic Express this week?
You're gonna say Norman Smiley, aren't you? Unfortunately, I've actually looked it up. It's supposedly somebody else, not Norman. A few people have said.
No, it is Norman.
But from what I looked at, trust me, it's Norman.
It looks
It
like
is.
Norman. It was being a lemon instead of a rosebud.
Oh, you
But-
even had to get that line in there, didn't you?
Yeah, so it was. This match could have been so much more. It looks like they're building up for a quick 5-10 minute match between
Well-
Rose and Swagger.
Well, I think
Why are we feeding Jack Swagger to Adam Rose? Surely, just give him someone else.
don't mind speculation what they should do, and I'm not sure if you might agree with me on this. Turn him face.
Every time Zeb Coulter goes, please stand up, put your hand over your heart, and in a proud loud voice go, "We the people." Half the crowd goes, "We the people."
Right. Turn Swagger and Zeb Coulter face, and I know the perfect guy to go up against. Rusev.
But in a couple of months, I don't want
Yeah,
it now,
yeah,
because
yeah,
if it's now, it's only going to be like a 3 or 4 minute match.
It's gonna be a crush.
But Rusev's going through his racism stage at the moment by the look of it. But I'll come to that later.
But I knew one of us was going to mention that today. I knew someone was going to mention it.
So so it was a pretty quick
I
match.
feel a little bit sorry for
hit
RVD.
it. RVD hit a thrust
He
kick
doesn't
and a
seem to be-
frog splash.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be getting,
But RVD isn't bothered. RVD's coming in for 90 days, picking up a nice
check.
probably nice big 6-figure sum
Probably more.
for just 90 days. 90 days off and I'll come back.
Yeah.
90 days off, back.
Yep.
So it
Can't
worked
complain.
well.
Can't complain.
So I was annoyed with the next match.
And I think I know which one you're on about.
It was Alicia Fox versus Paige,
Yeah.
which had Alicia Fox with at least 5 or 6 minutes of offense.
Yeah.
And Paige didn't hit one move, one kick, one slap, I don't think.
This is what I was moaning about earlier, wasn't I?
But this was a couple of weeks ago when she was having a bit of offense, but she didn't have one piece of offense.
Nope.
She may be 21, but I wouldn't mess with her.
Paige is an accomplished wrestler.
No, I wouldn't mess with her. I'd like to try putting her in the Scorpion Crosslock, but I wouldn't mess with her.
She quite literally just got the winner from literally nowhere, which...
Yeah, and it was one move. It was the same move that beat AJ, but AJ, I could put up with that because it was a moment, like a raw moment, but now it's that was unnecessary. They could have had a good 5 or 6 minute match instead. They had Alicia Fox squash her for 5 or 6 minutes, couple of backbreakers. She botched the first one.
Yeah. And then why... And this is one of my pet hates in wrestling. If you've botched it the first time, why go back into it?
She shouldn't do it straight away.
True, but why go back into it? If you've botched it, the fans are going to be expecting it.
So, yeah, that could have been a good match. I like what they did afterwards, where Fox showed some character development and actually threw a tantrum. And I must say, she looks extremely fit in a cowboy hat. JBL's hat has never looked so good.
There's not much I can say to this because there was a moment on the WWE app where she supposedly quit.
She didn't quit
But
because
she
she was
didn't
on main
quit.
event.
No, but she didn't quit because she went on Twitter and had another WWE app moment where she just said she'd blown off some steam. She hasn't really quit, blah, blah, blah. So she hasn't quit.
I can see
but
her
we're
and Paige
hoping,
at Payback.
We're hoping that this character development continues on.
Yeah. Like, we might as well have one crazy chick in there, but we've had a white one, so they might as well even things out.
Or got rid of one.
Yeah. I don't think AJ's coming back. I think AJ's took a ball and gone home as well.
Anyway, let's move on.
So Daniel Bryan comes out. He announces that it's been an uphill battle, but he's done his necking. And this was an interesting point to make. Due to the wrestling style that he has, it was like injuries are pretty inevitable. Like this seemed like a pretty good shoot, which we can come to a little bit later.
Yeah.
Like it was like a shoot work sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it was nice that like he had his time to say that he's coming back. And I don't think they've stripped him of the title yet.
They may do on
Raw on Monday, but I don't.
Or not.
But they haven't yet.
It'd be disappointing.
It depends how long he's out for, because if he's out for 6 months, you can't not have the WWE title on Raw for 6 months. You know.
Yeah. You can't. The show must go on.
Yeah, like a month or two, I could probably deal with. You know, because we had The Rock last year who showed up via satellite.
Good God. But then again, if you think about it, if he's going to be gone for a while, why not set up like an interim champion like UFC do?
No, because I don't want an interim champion. Because it looks like he's just a paper champion.
Good point.
So if you're going to do it, and I had an interesting argument yesterday with someone on a discussion forum. There isn't many feuds right now that you could put the title in.
Yeah.
An interesting one. And people probably won't agree with it because of the person.
Go on.
There's only 2 people I could see with the title at the moment.
Go on.
Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
Or John Cena.
Bray.
I think it would make Bray, like, that would push him through the glass ceiling if, after Payback, they had one more match for the biggest prize in the business.
Yeah.
Like, if Cena wins at Payback.
Or if they had a tournament and it was Cena and Bray in the final.
Yeah, like the next pay-per-view.
That'd be good.
And Bray, like, destroyed Cena's will by taking the one thing that Cena
always wants to grab.
Yeah.
Ooh, I just got to chill.
And then after you can move Cena on to his feud with Big E then.
The good thing about it is with that is it'd be special for them because they seem to be escalating their feud and it's very interesting. Now with this injury of Bryan, they utilise the WWE Championship.
Like I can't name a number of people that aren't tied up in a tag team program or something else that
aren't relevant enough.
Yeah, to have the title.
Yeah.
Like, there was 2 when I was looking through it the other day that would make sense, and there was only one feud that the title, apart from Kane and Bryan, that actually fitted in, and that was the Cena Wyatt program.
And unfortunately,
because Triple H, Batista, and Orton are all tied up. Reigns is too green for the expression.
You could
for the
say
title.
That. You could say that.
Sheamus is tied up with
his US.
The US title. Bad News Barrett's got the Intercontinental title. I'd love to see him win the title in England, though.
All I'm saying is, you just went for say internet. He ain't coming back. You know he ain't coming back.
Zack Ryder's tied up, God knows where else.
In the locker room.
Yeah.
Being replaced by Al Torito.
Yeah. CM Punk's at home.
With his ball.
Yeah, with his ball and AJ.
But then again, if you had AJ at home, come on.
So, who else is that could have the title and make it look... Christian? Injured. Hasn't been on telly for God knows how long. Rey Mysterio, injured. Hasn't been on telly for so long. Rob Van Dam in a mid-card won't take it seriously.
Cesaro?
Tied up with Paul Heyman in a feud with Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter still, because he's on Zeb Coulter's immigration list.
Good point. But there's also the fact that he's trying to do that whole thing with the Paul Heyman guy with RVD.
Unless there's only one other person that could have the title, and I think it'd cost Vince McMahon a hell of a lot more money than they're already paying him.
Go on. Oh, yes.
because my client Brock Lesnar is the one in 21
21.
and 1. So Brock Lesnar could be your champion sooner rather than we anticipated, but it probably cost him a lot of money to get him to a full-time schedule while Brian's healing up.
Yeah, I think that would be an expensive.
I reckon that'd be an expensive title run.
But
It's possible and feasible.
Maybe an expensive title run, but Christ, that would be interesting. That would be interesting.
It would, because who'd you book him against in his first feud?
Whoever whoever's going to go up against him is going to get literally dismantled.
Or
bring somebody back.
Do you see if one dead man is healed from his injuries for another match?
Possibly, but
You know, because the dead can't get injured. So we'll move on. That's an interesting point. We seem to be diversing all over the place at the moment.
Today's one of them days, isn't it?
It looks like it's going to be one of them
subject.
shows. So John Cena versus the Usos versus no, not John Cena versus the Usos. John Cena and the Usos versus the Wyatt family. Cena and the Usos won. It seems like Cena went into Superman mode towards the end of the match.
Oh, of course. No. You say Superman, I say Halo mode. You know, where he instantly recovers.
Yeah.
If he's waiting around for a bit.
But it was a good match. The Usos are getting really good with the crowd.
Oh, the Usos have been phenomenal.
Like, I haven't heard a tag team reaction like that probably since the Outlaws came back.
Yeah, and yet they literally came out of nowhere, and it's so good. Well, I think what also stands out is the fact that you know that these aren't first generation wrestlers. These are multiple generation.
I must say, like the Maivia Fatu, like family chain that's coming in at the moment.
Oh,
like
definitely.
You've got the Usos, you've got Roman Reigns. Like they're doing well.
Oh, definitely.
They're cleaning house.
And you can't blame them.
No, and like they're working, picking up knowledge, so it's nice. Like it was a good overall match. Like there was a really awesome reverse Alabama slam.
Oh.
How painful did that look?
I had to cringe.
But apart from that, like Jimmy always hits a good super kick, and then like the double super kick, really nice. The Usos got in the stereo suicide mill rope dive, which is quite nice. I think I saw you attempt one of them, but a couple of weeks ago, but you pulled out at the last minute.
No, I didn't dive. Why would I do that? I'm gonna dive. There you go. I think I actually did I have done a dive, but it's been that long. I believe it was in a ladder match in a distance time.
Fair enough. So after that, we have Evolution coming out, and Orton says he's tired of the Shield and he wants to put this to rest once and for all. Triple H then chips in saying he made the Shield.
Yeah.
Triple H saying that, it kind of reminded me of something my mum used to say to me when I was younger. I gave you life, I can take it away.
Oh. What's so good about this is the idea that Triple H is making out he made them, but he didn't really bring the Shield in. Unfortunately, we're not going to mention his name. We'll actually mention the actual person who brought them in, Mr. Mike Lyons.
Yeah.
The guy who's got a voice who everybody knows when he hears him on the mic.
But and then after you have then Batista chips in saying that he wants a piece of Roman Reigns. Nice big man match.
Yeah, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah. Some more attacks, so the Shield are going all out and attacking. Like it's twice now.
You can't blame him.
Yeah,
you can't blame him.
It's twice that they've got the upper hand now. So at Payback, do Evolution get the one, and then do you go to a rubber match?
You could do, but we'll have to see. Next up,
Nikki Bella versus Natalia. Now this, I know you won't agree with me, but this was a really good Divas match.
Yeah.
If you take out all the scorecard and like the pointless Total Divas segment that was going on outside, this was a really good match.
Yeah.
This was better than the Paige Fox match.
It was, but the problem is they were bringing it came from Total Divas and whatnot, which not. You can say that there's people that do watch it, but not everybody watches it. But it's like it's come out of left field. Is this the second Divas match because they didn't have one last week?
No. Did you watch Total Divas?
It's to do with the painting, isn't it?
It's to do with Natty trying to paint. Please, love, do not give up your day job.
So this one coming?
Yeah, so it was to do with the painting, which looked like if the cat had done it, maybe Cena might have been quite impressed, and Nikki, but
maybe
since it was drawn by a human, they weren't really that impressed, and this was a match due to that. Nikki showed some bitchiness.
As you do.
Yeah, but really good match.
Yeah.
Really good back and forth. Some technical wrestling in there as well. Some nice mat work with...
Which is nice, because it's...
Yeah.
It's nice to see that, because with me being, on the British scene, it's nice to see some technical.
I was disappointed when the match ended due to a roll-up, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if they're going to have Nikki win, at least have her hit a modified backbreaker.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
Yeah, but it was a really good match.
Next,
Sheamus destroys Ryback.
Shall we just make this one quick, because this one I'm not a fan of, because I just don't like the fact of what... Ryback were what?
Number one contenders
last month, and now all of a sudden...
Built up quite well.
Really
and
well.
Now Sheamus has just took Triple H's shovel
and buried him.
And just completely buried the both of them.
And yet, Mr. Ryback...
In 5 minutes.
No, wasn't he Mr. Feed me more, feed me more? And what did he get for his trouble? A foot.
It was...
Curtis Axel came out, blah, 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 hit a few moves, got destroyed. Next! And literally Ryback declares, I want to match with you, blah, blah, blah.
And he gets the same treatment for his trouble.
Yeah.
Then after, you have Stephanie McMahon coming out and says Daniel Bryan.
I liked how they brought this back.
But, and this comes back to something earlier about being an A-plus player.
Yep.
And she says his injury means he's not an A-plus player.
By the way, I will say this. That's no reference to Triple H being called that by a certain former WCW owner, would it?
I don't know, but...
Because Triple H got regarded as only B+.
Yeah. But also, if Bryan's not an A-plus player because of his injury, does that make Triple H a C player because of how many times he entered his quad?
Yeah.
How about Kevin Nash? Kevin Nash rips his quad every time he gets out of bed.
If we're cool, I could mention X-Pac's incident, but we're not even going to go on that one.
Yeah, X-Pac ripped his anus. So
I didn't say that. I didn't say it. And then you got Austin. Is he a B+ player because of his neck injury?
And his knees.
And C+ because of his knees.
Yeah.
Or is it D+ because he's per joint?
I don't know, but if we're moving back to the X Factor one, so he ripped his anus. Is that due to one night in China? I ain't getting that.
Who knows?
I'm sorry, folks. I love Sean Waltman. I really do.
And he's actually in the UK now.
Is he?
Yeah, at the moment, I believe, doing some. I think he's currently doing a tour. Yeah.
That's brilliant. So if you ever listen to this, I do apologise.
You didn't even know, did you?
So but yeah, like I don't agree like with bringing up like the whole grades for like people due to injury. You know,
yeah,
Triple H is an A+ player. Hulk Hogan is an A+ player. John Cena is going to be regarded as an A+ player. But if you're looking down at your card, like if Daniel Bryan isn't classed as an A+ player,
who the hell is?
What do you class Zack Ryder as? Because grades only go as low as an E, don't
they? Knowing him, it'd be quite fitting for him, wouldn't it? He'd probably be Z.
Yeah. But yeah, so she tells Daniel that she's tried to protect him, but she needs him to come to the ring so she can say something to him. Kane then drags him out, unconscious on the stage. I did like how they'd ripped his shirt a little bit, had a little bit of a cut on his head, made it look like they beat him up. His surgery's gone well. I had a look yesterday. Yeah. He's regaining things back in his hands.
Which is good.
Yeah. Brie will probably be missing off telly for the next couple of weeks. So.
The only question is the whole thing with Stephanie apologising.
No, but
You know she ain't apologising.
no, but are we going to get a match against Brie and Stephanie?
Doubt it. I'm expecting Stephanie get her girls together and a la Shield and do.
Well, Stephanie McMahon, I don't know if you know this.
Yes, I do.
Actually, I think I actually told you this last year. Stephanie McMahon is actually a signed wrestler to WWE.
Yes, she is. I already know that.
On a wrestler's contract.
Yeah, I already know that. Because she's been on that contract for quite a.
No, she only signed it last year.
Was it just last year she signed it?
So
you sure?
I think it lasts till 2015. And so.
No, there could be a match.
So she could face Brie soon because Kane and Bryan's out of the question. So why not have Brie go after Stephanie?
It would sort of keep the feud going.
Yeah.
Interesting thought there. Interesting thought.
So the next match we have is Dolph Ziggler versus Fandango. It was a good back and forth match for what it was.
Yeah, especially with Ziggler and Fandango. These pair, I can see Ziggler as a main event player later on.
Can you? He's had 2 pushes and he's failed both times.
But the problem is they haven't given him the right platform.
They did. They let him win the title the night after WrestleMania in front of the biggest crowd that they get for the year.
Yes, the build-up, yes. The after, what did they give him after?
He got a concussion due to being reckless and over-bumping.
No, but other than that, what happened?
Do you want to argue the point that is his biggest downfall?
You could say that, but then what was Triple H? Triple H was an amazing bumper.
Triple H never gave himself a concussion, though.
You got a good point there, but you've got to have people who can bump, and he can wrestle.
There's a difference between bumping and overselling. If you want to go watch a match of chronic overselling...
Don't you even dare mention that match. Don't you dare.
As a match at SummerSlam that took place, Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan.
Oh.
If you want to go watch a case of overselling, which it actually makes Dolph look normal. Shawn oversold the whole match. I've never seen anyone take the big boot, do a headstand, land on the feet, headstand again, and fall.
What was so funny about that is, do you actually know why he did that?
Yeah, because Hulk Hogan wouldn't take the loss and take it into a rubber match.
No, it was going to be Hogan, but they were going to have a rubber match where Shawn wins it back.
And then they were going to have the third match.
Yeah,
but Hulk wouldn't do the second and third matches. So Shawn just made him look like crap. Well done, Shawn. I did laugh the whole match. It was funny to watch.
That match is... Oh.
However, I think I've had this argument before. Billy Gunn uses the Faymaster.
Yeah.
Wins a match.
Yep.
Dolph Ziggler uses the Faymaster.
2 foot count.
He gets a 2 count. Where is the justice?
2 things you can say. One, it's not his finisher, so he doesn't know the proper technique. And secondly, last time I checked, Billy Gunn is more heavier than the Ziggler. That's what you can use. That's what you can use, and that's what I'm sticking to.
Okay, I'll take your logic for now. Layla gets up on the apron and then gets a heel stuck in the rope after arguing with Dolph for cheating. Now, why is Layla trying to wear the same costumes that Summer would try to wear?
The reason why, I believe it would be because Summer is due to come back.
Yeah, but like Layla's wearing stuff that Summer struggled to make look sexy, and Layla's pretty fit herself. You know, like if you want to have her as a dancing valet, give her something like the samba stuff. Give her a latex leotard.
Yeah.
That would that the most men would look at and go, "What is that?"
True.
Because I had to look at it twice to figure out what it was.
True, but the problem is WWE have got to think very PG, and they can't think too sexy.
Yes, because they're thinking PG when Nikki Bella's had a boob job and wears a boob tube to wrestling. and Natty wears see-through tights on the side. Do you want to have this argument?
Minor setbacks.
Minor setbacks.
There we go. I'll use Vince's logic. Minor setbacks.
Where's the kiss my ass club?
I'm not trying to kiss his ass.
So we're moving on after that.
Far
Dolph
from
Ziggler
it.
won, and then after the match, Layla apologises for the incident, and then they have a minute snog, which was probably more time than Zeb Coulter got on camera for the whole of his intro was
Pretty
them
much.
snogging, which was probably the same amount of time.
And if I recall, did I not catch you deliberately watching that kiss on YouTube recently?
I was actually watching the match.
Yeah, sure you were.
I was actually watching the match because, as I was explaining to my colleague earlier,
You know, deep down, be honest. You're a romantic, aren't you?
yeah, deep down somewhere, probably my little toe, but there was parts where I needed to catch up on because Sky decided to have a hissy fit on Monday night where it only recorded 134 minutes of a 195-minute show
Ouch.
due to loss of signal. So I've had to catch up on the last hour. So I actually missed probably the best hour on there.
The hour of power.
Yeah, so we moved on. Axel Jim Duggan comes out, puts over Legends House. How much more reality television can WWE give us?
Trust me, they can bring whatever they want.
Yeah, it's...
They've got their own network now, remember?
Yeah, so Rusev comes down, Lana gives a typical Russian speech.
It looks like he's a certain big guy is about to break his case.
Yeah.
Maybe? And go on.
But so Lana comes down, she gives a typical pro-Russian speech.
I liked how they switched Rusev
to a Russian sympathiser.
Yeah.
We were on about this last week.
Yeah.
But so it fits in. Then Duggan gets his trusted 2x4, which must be older than me.
Oh yeah. All I've got to say though is, you can't get other than Hogan, who is the second most patriotic man for USA in WWE.
Axel.
It's got to be.
Yeah. If you want anyone to get a USA chant going, just send Axel out.
Definitely.
Like, actually...
Come on. If I recall, he's had USA chants against Americans.
Yeah. But it surprised me how that bloke never won the world title.
Yeah, and yet
He was the first winner of the Royal Rumble.
He was.
So it surprises me, that does. So Rusev is about to crush.
Break.
And then Big E comes down. It gets a nice sympathetic pop for saving the legend that is Axel. And then after he gets a big thrust kick in his face for his trouble.
And gets crushed.
Yeah, and he gets crushed. Which I reckon WWE are running out of black folk to chuck into Rusev now. Because like, they are running out of people. So we've gone through Consequences Creed.
There is one.
Xavier Woods. So we've gone through him.
Yeah.
We've gone through R-Truth.
Yeah.
They can't feed him the real deal, Titus O'Neil, yet, because he's a heel.
Yep.
As yet, Darren Young's torn his ACL, so he can't have Darren Young. So who else did he have?
There is one more he could have, but he's been ducking the camera for a while now.
Who did he face? He beat Kofi.
No, I can name one right now. I'm not sure if he's...
Oh, no, I know who you're on about, but he's beat Kofi, Rusev has. He's dust crushed Big E without breaking that much of a sweat. So there's I can only think of one more black person that's left.
And he's ducking the camera.
Which is because...
What?
That's what we do. Mark Henry.
Oh, you went down for Mark Henry?
Yeah.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Who were you thinking of?
The guy who's been on the payroll for ages, but not on the camera. He's still getting his WWE contract. Mr. JTG.
Who?
Basically, the reason why I brought this up is I basically saw a meme that was dead comical.
JTG is on the roster.
He is.
He's. I swear, he's that bunny in the Exotic Express.
It wouldn't surprise me.
He's got to earn his money somehow.
All I'm saying to you is there was a thingy, a meme that was on where he's coming out saying I won't be taken seriously. Stephanie comes out. I'm not racist. Basically, called him Shad Gaspard. Mistaken. No, I'm JTG. Rusev comes out. It wasn't me who was talking about being a big time player. It was looking around, and unfortunately, he's literally trying to find somebody, and who's there? Somebody else.
So then quickly after, we had Cody Rhodes versus Damien Sandow.
Yes. This was quite interesting because, as we mentioned this before, Cody Rhodes seems to be going down the road that we want.
Yeah.
The heel.
But he lost that match again, didn't he? And then after he walked away from Goldust.
Did he win it?
No, he lost the match.
I thought
Sandow
he
won it. As far as I'm aware,
No, he didn't. Sandow lost.
Really?
He complained.
Oh, right. So, Cody won.
Cody won with...
Crossroads.
Yeah, from a finger poke in the eye.
And then after, we had the big Batista-Reigns moment.
Yeah.
Which ended in a clusterfuck ending.
Ooh.
Overbooked. Stephanie coming out with people...
It's the reason why they did this is because they talked time with Cole. Basically, what they were doing is they were talking about people that the Shield have already crossed.
Yeah. While
decimating the whole WWE when they arrived. Okay, they could, but most of the guys that are attacking them, they didn't touch at all. The only guy who's one of the biggest guys who got taken out the most by
was
the
Ryback.
Shield was Ryback, and he's just been destroyed by Sheamus.
Yeah. So it was a pretty boring end to the
yeah.
It was an overbooked ending.
Definitely.
But it was alright for what it was. So I know you want to send out a quick tribute.
Yeah. The reason why I want to send this tribute out is because I actually met this gentleman at a slam show for a charity event for, I believe it was Teenage Cancer Trust. Yeah, his name, lovely lad, unfortunately passed away this week. His name is Steve Sutton, one of the major people of Stephen's story. You know, he literally said it's not a sob story, it's Stephen's story. He's one of the nicest lads you'll ever meet. I was quite shocked he passed away, but unfortunately he knew his time was very, very short because he got told he was incurable. But in that short amount of time, he has done so much. I believe, how much has he raised?
3.3 million.
Yeah, how many people can say they've done that when they know they're gonna die, literally, and he's kept his spirits that high. Even come on, he's done drumming on football grounds. He was considering skydiving. He's hosted events. He's in the Guinness Book of Records for, I'm not sure what for, but he's definitely in there. So he's going to be remembered. To be honest with you, he should be remembered anyway for what he's done. Yeah. He's an amazing lad, and it's sad to say. In a way, I wouldn't say he's just a person. I can literally say he's a hero. He's a hero who's sadly moved on, but he will not be forgotten. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that the charities it will still be going, but most likely in his memory.
It is. It's still up and running. Well, if there's a link where any of you want to post, I'll try to get it up on the page if you want it up on the page. Yeah. So we'll do that. Moving on, I had an interesting question asked by one of our American friends earlier on.
Yes.
Is that to send to the main board? I don't know if you've seen it. If you have.
Yeah, I remember I said it earlier. Yes, I did see it.
So
unfortunately, I noticed she was struggling, but I found it hard to answer it at all because I find it hard to answer because I can be in this position myself.
I tried to answer it from using my business degree. Yeah. I for those of you who are probably aren't aware, I actually have a degree in business.
Yep.
And I also do financial accounting as well. I have a degree in that. So, yes, I spent 3 years and wasted it on boring education. So, I tried to look at it from a business point of view.
It's not boring education. You need an education just in case. You never know. It's important.
So, I tried to look at it from a business, but still using a moral high ground. So, the question was, how do you feel about people competing when they're injured? And I tried to look at it to the point of protecting guys against injury and how severe injury is where they can't compete. I tried to use the past experience. I used to play for the Stoke Centre of Excellence when I was for the under-17. I had to retire when I was 16 from football due to breaking my fourth metatarsal.
Yeah.
So
Not pretty.
I tried to use that in this argument, but it was a bit of a flawed argument when I was trying to type that, so I deleted that response, and then I gave another one. So my view about this was potentially, like, to protect people from getting injured as much as they have been doing, is having a look at potentially having two rosters like they used to have like a brand split.
Yeah.
And the injuries were a lot less when they had the brand split.
Yes. I agree with that.
On the brand split, like, they had an equal amount of main event guys across Raw and SmackDown.
No, in that sense, I know exactly where you're going to go with it. One problem I can see straight away with this flaw. I can see it massively.
Well, I was using WWE, and then I had a separate theory for the independent scene. So
carry on.
So that's where your flaw will come in, because it doesn't work for the independent scene.
Yeah.
But for like the WWE scene, where injuries are more commonly made known, if you have two rosters like they used to, Raw, SmackDown, split the main event guys across the two shows equally, so you'd have Randy Orton on SmackDown, John Cena on Raw, and then you split it across, or Daniel Bryan SmackDown, John Cena Raw, Bray Wyatt, Orton, Triple H, Batista, and then split that across, and then you've got 3-4 main event guys on both shows. Split your mid-card evenly, split your divas, split your undercard, and then you don't even have to split the commentators. I thought that was the stupidest part of the brand split.
It really was.
So that was one way, and then that way, like, your two brands are completely different shows, and they used to tour 3 days, and then they'd have 3 days off.
Yeah.
Which did lower injuries in the WWE.
It does, because the more you wrestle, the higher chance of being injured is always there. The chances are always there, as they always say. Please don't try this. It's not an easy sport to do.
No,
it's not. I can say sport entertainment. It's not easy to do. Period.
Yeah.
Point and period. It's dangerous.
Yeah. So when looking at it from an independent point of view, because you can't afford, if you're an independent booker, to have two rosters, because half your talent isn't actually your talent, like, they're independent, so you're relying on them not getting injured at another show.
And also, you got to bear in mind that on independents, some of their shows aren't weekly.
No, like the monthly or even quarterly. So, like, you just have to hope that the people are doing, like, safe matches. Like, there was Extreme Rising shows, and, like, if I wanted a guy from an Extreme Rising show, I tried to book him 2 months before or 2 months after. Because I wouldn't want him the next month if he's gone through thumbtacks or a flaming table. Of course, the chances are he's going to be quite beat up, and
he's going to be very beat up.
But he needs a chance to rest.
But even so, if he's a big name,
like, you'd want him there. So it comes across the point of what match you want the people to do and their schedules. Like, in the independents, it's up to the wrestler to know when his body's aching and when he needs time off.
There's no right answer for this, really. I don't think.
But it also depends on like the severity of the injury.
But the problem that you've got to make sure of with the wrestler, if he knows his body, you've got to make sure he doesn't put himself in a situation where he's desperately trying to make something of himself.
Yeah.
Pushes himself too hard, which then can make the company look worse because they haven't protected them.
Yeah, like it also depends on the injury as well.
Yeah.
Like, if
there's got to be a line where the company says, "Listen, you've got to take time off. You're injured. You need rest up."
Like, if you want to come along and maybe do, like, a cameo, like, give a promo.
Yeah.
We'll have you. We won't pay you your normal fee, but we'll still pay you X.
The only way I can see it being, if someone's injured and you want to protect them, is literally put them in some form of non-wrestling capacity.
Yeah.
GM, managers, somewhere. But if they're injured, you can understand. The one thing I will say is, if they're injured and they've got an injury, the one thing that is so weird, the wrestlers learn new techniques to dance around the injuries. And it's weird, but you can only do that for so long.
Because injuries catch up with you.
They do. And you can end up being out longer.
Yeah, I've tried to play through my knee injury for the last couple of years, and last year I ended up dislocating out of its socket.
Ouch.
So I had to slow down and reassess my lifestyle again, and I've now adapted and overcome.
Yeah. Me, on the other hand, I've been in this position, been injured.
Yeah.
And it's not pretty. It's not a pretty one. I remember being thrown awkward and then I landed square on my shoulder. I couldn't even literally lift my arm. How do I say? I got it at the side. I couldn't even get it up to about. What would you say? I'm just trying to think. I couldn't even lift it at all.
To arm's length.
I couldn't even get it to arm's length. It was painful just even lifting.
It was just limp.
Basically, it was. I was almost.
Yeah, but
on one side of my
so
body.
It's
and unfortunately with that injury, I had to take time off.
Yeah,
I had to miss a show, but luckily enough, I managed to get me resting up and come back better. But
I think we both agree that it depends on the injury state, don't we?
It depends. It depends on the injury, and the state of mind of the wrestler.
Yeah. Like, if you can work your match around avoiding the injured body part, and it's a minor injury, say, like, if you've done your shoulder, but, like, you only want to do a basic match show with, like, where you could work your leg and everything, and you could work on your other side of your body.
If you can move your arm.
Yeah.
If it's movable, it's not going to cause pain or cause any discomfort, then fair enough, you can probably dance around it, but you can only dance around it for so long. You've got to get it checked out. The one thing you've also, on the other end, if you do go away, I know one thing that's going to be on your mind, that's on a wrestler's mind. If they're away from the ring, they're going to be instantly thinking all the time,
am I losing my spot?
Am I losing my spot? Am I losing my spot? It's, bear this in mind, me personally, I'd rather take a bit of time off, lose a bit of my spot, come back and possibly... I may not gain that spot again, but at least I'll have a spot to come back to, than rather have an injury, it get worse, and because of that injury, I'm out.
So
you've lost your spot then if you're injured, if you can't compete through the injury being that bad.
So it really depends, but so that's our answers to that. If hopefully that's covered it. If you don't think it's covered it, we'll add a bit more to it next time.
We'll try our best. But
it's a hard subject.
You can't cover the all bases on you. It's not a yes and no answer. You can't. It's one of them. So it's a conundrum.
So hopefully everyone's enjoyed today's episode of Breaking the Fourth Wall. This is episode 4.
It's felt good.
Yeah,
it felt good.
So hopefully everyone enjoys that. We haven't done any SmackDown because we've actually recorded this on a Friday, and the UK don't get shown until about 10 o'clock.
We've had to do this early. But then again, we don't usually cover SmackDown too much.
No, but like normally I mention a couple of the matches during the Raw review.
Yeah.
So, so hopefully that's everything. So how can we contact you?
One thing I will say before we get onto that, unfortunately, we said we were going to do something for this week, but we haven't. I'll say we most likely have to save it for next week. NXT.
Yeah.
We'll have to bring it up next week, unfortunately. But for the time being, NXT, great show to watch. I'd recommend anybody to watch it if they can. Highly recommend it because it's got some talent on there who could be future potential superstars. Anyway, let's get back onto the famous lines of cheap plugs.
Yeah. So how do we contact you?
You can contact me either by email at mattburns04@hotmail.com.
Yep.
You can literally contact me through Facebook at matt.burns.uk.
Yeah.
At the end of the Facebook. You can also contact me on Twitter.
This is my favourite one.
You know what? You knew I was going to say this to last because you love it so much. I am known on Twitter as Matt Badboy Burns. So please, if you want to throw your jabs, I don't mind. I get enough of them off my colleague here, who's now got a Cheshire grin on his face.
Yeah.
But the real question is how do we contact you?
So if you want to contact me, you can find me on Facebook. I'm under Nathan Goff. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you will have to put up with a lot of pool news on there. my season's just taking off at the moment. So if you don't want to hear a load of pool news, I recommend you don't follow. But you can message me. My profile's on open, so you can message me that way. If you message Breaking the Fourth Wall on Facebook as well.
This is for both of us, though.
This is for both of us, but I answer it more than you do.
It's because of my busy schedule, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I answer it a little bit more due to travelling time, and I have more access to my phone than you do.
Yep.
And then you can also contact me on Twitter via Breaking the Fourth Wall. Wrestling's Fourth Wall.
Oh, thank you.
You can contact us on Wrestling's Fourth Wall on there, on Twitter, so if you want to follow us via that, you can get us through that. And then we're also at bt4w@outlook.com. So if you send an email across that, we'll answer you via that. But if you ever want to contact us, it's one way or another. I don't like having a personal Twitter page like most people because I run out of things to put on it.
Fair enough.
I really can't be arsed with it.
I've got to say one thing though. Seeing as this is the cheap plug segment, at the end of the month, there's a United Wrestling show.
There is, and if anyone wants to come have a drink with me, I will be there watching the bad boy of British wrestling himself, teaming up with Scott Schuyler. Have you decided on the entrance music yet?
We haven't.
Are you able to do like a mix of Barbra Streisand the?
We'll have to see. It's a tough decision. If any of the fans,
the Shawshank Redemption.
If any fans want to make any suggestions, they're more than welcome to. I'm all ears. I'm pretty sure Scott will be.
Or you could probably go out with Working for the Weekend.
Oh my.
You know, there's plenty of things we can have for this tag team. So if you want to watch them, come down. Yeah, we're at Longton Bids or the Sutherland's Club. It's Bids
to us, yes.
So you can find them there. Doors open 7:30. Show starts at 8.
I believe something around that. Actually, no. I believe the doors open at 7. Show starts at 7:30.
Okay, so doors open at 7. And the show starts at 7:30. There's a nice bar, reasonable prices. If you come down and you're feeling really giving, I'll have a Magnus.
Oh, and it's just you always try and get that plug. But the one thing I will say that you're guaranteed is a great night.
It's a great night, and my favourite wrestlers out at the moment on the UK scene.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate this.
His match has been announced today, which is
thank you very much for that.
Which is Jürgen.
Damn it.
So Jürgen will be there, Jürgen Heimlich. So he'll be there, brilliant superstar.
Come on,
really quality match.
You said British wrestler. He's German.
But he's on the British wrestling scene.
I can't deny his skill, and he is a fan favourite. He is an amazing wrestler. I can see why you do like him. He is an amazing wrestler, but I thought I would be your favourite wrestler. We'll save that argument for another time anyway, I'd say. So, it's not going to be an argument, it's basically me saying why, and then realise how talented he is.
Yeah, and then possibly me super kicking him in the face and walking out.
And you wish what?
So I've been your host today. My name's Nathan Goff, and I've been joined by
Matt Burns,
the Funk's old brother, the bad boy himself, Matt Burns. So it's a goodbye from me.
And it's a goodbye from me.
Have fun, have a good weekend, and if you can't be safe, look after yourself.
And also, always look out for your local independent wrestling scene.
See you later, folks.
See ya.